So, welcome to another installment of our 25 stories of 25 years. It is Lift Disabilities' 25th anniversary, and we're so excited to have you join us today.
Yes.
And we get to invite in a really dear friend who's been around Lyft for a long time. Her name is Laura Lee Wright. Laura Lee, welcome.
Hey,
And she's
it's so
joining us
good to be
virtually.
here. 25 years? That's crazy.
I know it's crazy, isn't it, Laura Lee?
Crazy we've been.
There's been a lot of memories and a lot of things go past us during that time. We have had a lot happen in those 25 years, haven't we?
Oh man, yes, yes we have. Don't you sometimes feel like that's been like three lifetimes?
I know, right?
At least.
Yeah.
And we
yeah,
don't
for sure.
even recall, Lorelei, how long ago it was that we met you.
So I was on my way to live in England in the year 2000.
Oh.
No, 2001. Excuse me.
So math wise, is that 23, 22, something like that?
Something like that.
That's a
Yeah.
long time. Almost as long as
Yep.
we had Mary on earlier, and she's 25 with us. So yeah, we're calling in the old ones today. We're the OGs today.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, so you're calling me old?
No.
Well,
Okay.
we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
And we could get really long here, and we don't want to keep everybody on the screen too long. But do you remember back in that early days about what really drew you to Lyft, and what were the pieces that really, brought you full circle?
So really, what drew me to live was really your personalities, and then remember at that point, Nancy was on your staff too, and
Yeah.
the very first time that I met the two of you and Nancy, you were up in Northland, and you were at the point where you were really pushing the envelope in terms of starting disability ministry up there, and just your insights, your wisdom, your knowledge, and the way you interacted with Diane Dever at that point um, was a real selling point for me, and I kind of knew walking out of that meeting in 2001 that eventually I would land up on your staff.
Mhm. And you were one of our first staff members.
Yeah.
I think you followed Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, were you? I don't think you guys were on staff at the same time, were you?
I think we overlapped about 6 weeks.
Okay, yeah. So Nancy kind of got us started with as far as employees were concerned, and then you came on staff, and boy, things just kind of got exciting after that.
So you've been with us a while, on and off for a while, multiple times, in fact. So like, can you tell us what your roles and responsibilities were with Lyft?
So in the early days, I took over Nancy's role, which is really kind of family coordinator, and so in that role, we did a lot of moms support groups. We did kind of different outings for moms, but Jim and I very quickly uh, Jim already was doing a monthly or bi-monthly luncheon for people and organizations and churches that were involved in disability ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim and I spent a lot of time thinking about that and really putting a lot of effort into that, really believing that people and organizations who work together and collaborate um, go go much further.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember very specifically. I remember the day that we met at Northland, and then you said, "I'm going to work for you someday." I'm like, "Okay," and then you went away for your missions trip, and one day I was at work, and all of a sudden, in sla- in walks Laura
Storms in.
Lee. She
No,
storms
yeah.
in. I'm back. I'm ready to go to work.
I was
and
too.
and so we were able to do that. And man, those early days of just implanting vision into organizations and doing the leadership development that we did was really important work for the city of Orlando and for the future of disability ministry throughout Central Florida. I remember those days very vividly. What's one of your most vivid memories of your time with us?
So just let's just hang out here on those early days for a
Okay.
while be,
Does that make us
because
feel
I
younger or
think
something?
because I don't think people really realize just what a desert it was in terms of disability ministry
That's
in
true.
2001, 2, and 3. You know, when you showed up here, there was one church doing disability ministry,
And I think that was
and
just a Sunday school class, wasn't it?
well, yes, yes. Um, and really, you know, you and Nathaniel's Hope came about the same time. Um, but now when you look at all of the churches in Central Florida and all of the non-profit ministries that now focus on reaching people with disabilities who through faith. I think that's such an important part of what we did in those early
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
Very true. Very true.
I agree.
Yeah. Lots of planting seeds, and you and Laura Lee are never short on ideas and vision, and you all used to wear me out in the early days.
Yeah. So do you have a
So
memory?
Um,
A favorite memory you hang on after 20 years?
um, um,
nothing,
it's
not a thing.
always there's just too many, right? So I think there's just the ongoing community that we
Yeah,
began to build in those early years. And so
yeah,
you know, when I think of families like the Vandestreaks, you know,
Oh wow.
yeah,
they
right.
were um, very much a part of the early days of Lyft, and then as Lyft changed, and you know, they went away for several years, and then to have the boys come back and be a part of camp, and Jack and Ginny be part of the Boost programs up at Northland. I think those kinds of relationships. So it's not just one memory. It's
Yeah,
it's the early days and the first couple of years of doing Breakaway
Mm-hmm.
when everything seemed hard. Like
Yeah.
we all wore multiple
Yeah.
hats in order
Yeah.
to make those weeks of breakaway work. But then you look at the fruit of that, um, 11 years later. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. I was just thinking about your personal story and your connection to disability. Do you want to share a little bit of your personal life?
Um, So obviously, if you haven't picked up on it, I talk funny, and so I live with cerebral palsy, and in my case, it affects my hands, my speech,
Mm-hmm.
and I have this awkward little gait that throws people off. I think disability for me is really the thing that keeps me kind of tethered to my faith. And
Mm-hmm.
I think when I lived in England, God really impressed on me that my disability was a gift, and when God gives us gifts, we're to use them for His glory and honor. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, I used to see disability as a barrier to a lot of life. I now see it as a open door to places and communities that most people don't get entrenched to.
Yeah. So good. So good. Well, we just want you to know that we love you,
Mm-hmm.
and have been so blessed to have you be a part of our ministry. It's just been an incredible journey.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've gone on to get a master's degree, and even beyond that, you've been just learning ways to grow organizations and to help expand them, and we hope that Lyft has played a little part in that. So, can you tell us what's probably the most impactful thing that Lyft has had on you personally?
So, to say one thing is just just a really hard thing, but it really comes back to the fact that disability doesn't have to be um, a place of isolation. It can be not only a place of growth, but it can be disability, and living with di- disability actually can give a gift of community, and that is something that both you and Jim and Ronnie, both have kind of um, taught me through the years, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
hospitality into your home, whether it's how you create spaces that are opening and welcoming. I think those, those are characteristics that I've taken into ministry no matter where I'm at.
That's really good. I just hope that our viewers today will just understand the importance of this relationship. You know, you not,
Family.
huh?
Family.
You really have become our family. And, you know, we've been through a lot of grief together.
Hmm.
You know, I've lost my dad, I lost my sister, and you lost your dad, and now your mom just passed away recently. And I think that, you know, for me personally, you've become kind of like my younger sister.
Y'all fight like siblings. I'll say that for sure.
But for you and Ronnie, y'all have become best friends. I mean, you guys talk all the time.
True.
And we just are grateful that God has brought us to you and brought you to us.
It's a good word.
Thank you, Laura Lee, for joining us today. It's
Yes.
great to look back with you and just cherish those moments.
We love you, man.
I love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you guys.